WeVideo is a free website and app for video creation. You can edit video, add still images, voiceovers, background music, text. It works with your Google account and works for both staff and students. Now, the first time you go to WeVideo.com, you do not need to create a new account. Just go ahead and log in with your Google account. You'll need to click Allow, and it is going to ask if you're an educator, and eventually you'll get to the screen. So we're going to work our way across the blue ribbon, starting with the dashboard. And for the free account, you have up to 5 minutes that you can publish each month, and then that will renew. And that's for publishing. It's not videos that you're working on, but that you're actually publishing. Storage, you have up to 1 gig of storage, and that's your photos, videos, voice recordings. Once you're done with the project, though, you can go ahead, delete those, upload new content for your next project. And we'll click on Manage Account. So for students, I would suggest that you have them go ahead and connect their Google Drive account. For staff, you could also connect your YouTube account. So now from Dashboard, we're going to jump over to Media, and you need some media to work with. So we can click on Import, and you can add from Google Drive, so if you have photos or videos there you'd like to use. One thing I will say though is if somebody shares photos or videos with you, they will not show up here unless you go to Shared with Me and add it to your drive. These are only items from your drive. So I've got one video here from Lacamas Lake. I'm going to hit Select. And if you're having students work on projects, just remember it does take time for these photos and videos to move over to be connected to their WeVideo account. So while that's going, we can continue to import. And if I say browse to select, this is going to use my hard drive. So I'm going to go to my name here, to my drive, to downloads, and I can already see my images here, but if you've ever been in the situation where it's just a list of all of the files and you don't know which is which, just right click, view, and I'm going to say large icons. So I want this first image here. And actually I want all of these in a row to this one. So I'm going to click on the first one. I can hold the Shift key down, click on the last one that I want. So it's selected everything in between, and open. So now that my items are uploaded into my media library, I can go through here. I could right click if I do need to delete anything, rename it. I also have the option to import more or create folders so I can really get organized if I wanted to do that. So now let's go over to videos and start a new video. So I'm going to start by clicking on one of my images here and dragging it down to video 1. And I'm not sure how long I want this to show up on my video, but I'll adjust that in a moment. So if I want some voiceover that's going to happen here, I'm going to click on my microphone, record. There are many national parks in the United States. Today we're going to look at one of the 3 that are in Washington State. I can click on stop, and when I hit the check mark, that's going to go ahead and take me down here, and now I've got my voiceover, and I want that to go with this image, so I'm going to click on the image and drag it so that those are the same length. Now I want this to be my second image. I can drag that down to video 1. I can go ahead and do another voice recording. There are 3 national parks in the state of Washington, and today we're going to look at Olympic National Park in the northwest corner of the state. And again, I hit the check mark, and it's going to drag that down to my voiceover section. I'm going to have this be part of the same file here, same thread. I'll make those the same length. And if my video is starting to get long, I can zoom in or out. So I can make this look really tiny. So I can, if I have a really long song, I could drag it down, or I can zoom in to get really specific. So that's kind of the bare bones version. I can also click on my pictures here, and I have the option to add effects. So just like Instagram, you can add filters and you can see the preview. You can add multiple filters at the same time, and there's some mild ones and some pretty drastic ones. So I'll probably just use sepia, apply, and in addition to that, you can also fade your video in and out. So if you wanted to take a few seconds for it to fade in or out, you can go ahead and do that here. So you can also go here to graphics, and these graphics are animated, and you can see what that preview looks like here on the side. So you could find a graphic that you like, drag it over, and that would be a really great way for your introduction or your conclusion for your video. I've also seen where students only use different graphics with their text of maybe a poem that they wrote, and then they record that over the top, and they don't use any photos or videos. So there's lots of different graphics that you can use, and you can see in addition to solid backgrounds, if you wanted an overlay, and this would be over the top of a photo or video, and then frames would just be around the image. So we can drag a frame down here so you can see what that looks like as well. I don't know that it really fits this video, so I'll go ahead and delete it. In addition to that, there's transitions, and that's pretty much just like a PowerPoint presentation. What do you want to happen between your images or videos? And there's several different options here, standard or additional. So I can just drag those and put those between my images, and that'll help with my transition. Music, so this is all free music that you can use, and you might want to preview those to see if there's something that fits the mood of your project. And in addition to that, there are lots and lots of sound effects. So maybe I want insects. I'm not sure exactly what that one sounds like. So that might be fun for a national park. So I could drag that down to, maybe I want that for my second portion. And I don't want my audio to overpower my voiceover, so I might turn my voiceover up and turn my background noise down, so it's just those quiet crickets in the background. And I don't want my audio to be longer than my video, so I can always click on this and drag and snap it to the end. The last part would be text. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this first one to be my title text. I'm going to drag it down below. I can double click on it, and that's where I can change my text. So Olympic National Park. And you have those same different style of formatting options. I'm going to say done editing. And I'm going to bring in this video. It's not from Olympic National Park, but just to show some options with video. You can scrub along to find a portion that you want and cut it. Scrub along, find another portion that you want and cut it. And then that way I can delete the center if I just wanted those two portions at the end and drag them together. And you do have those same options as far as fading in and out of video and adding special effects. So I'm going to drag this to the beginning, and you can hit the space bar to play or hit the preview at the beginning. But you can see we've got the fading, the audio, the images, and the text. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the space bar to pause it, and when you are finished, go ahead and click the finish button. Make sure that you title your project. So now you can publish your project. So you could, as a staff member, upload this to YouTube. As a student, they could download this to Google Drive, and from Google Drive, a student could turn this into Google Classroom. They could share it with their teacher. They could also embed it into a Google slideshow. So if you're not yet using Google Classroom, you could share a Google slideshow with all of your students, and each student could embed their video into one slide, and then within one slideshow, you'd have everybody's videos in one spot. So those are just a few things you can do with WeVideo. It is pretty powerful, but those are the basics.